Hello, welcome to Stage Makeup by Kyla, Blood and Guts, Part 2. In Part 1, I talked a lot about research. I showed the schematic. Here's Part 2. I've put the spirit gum on my face has dried. The spirit gum dries really quickly. That's okay, I'm going to do another layer. I've got my spirit gum ready, I've got my coconut oil ready, and I've got my scar wax ready. I'm going to be experimenting today with the Cine Wax that came with the Krylon Super Color Kit. The same technique works with the Ben Nye Scar Wax that comes with the Ben Nye kit. I'm going to use a butter knife that I keep in my makeup kit. If you have a butter knife you want to designate to your makeup kit, great. You could also use a plastic butter knife. You could use the end of the eyebrow brush. You could use whatever works. But I'm going to use this to dig out a little bit of the wax. We're about to see if this works the same way. I might have to go find my Ben Nye Scar Wax. Nah, it's going to work. I've got some Trader Joe's $5.99 coconut oil right here because scar wax sticks to your hands, but if you put a little bit of coconut oil on your fingertips, you can prevent it from sticking to your hands. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. Now the spirit gum is tacky, and I'm pressing the scar wax, oh yeah, into the spirit gum. So I've experimented this semester with a new makeup kit. I had been using the Ben Nye Cream Color Kit for all the years I taught stage makeup. This is my first time using the Krylon Super Color Kit. So this is my first time actually using this wax. So far it seems to be working in a similar way to the Ben Nye Scar Wax. That is, it's malleable, especially as it heats up as you get it in your hand. There it is, it's stuck to my face. And there's a really clear distinction between the wax and my face, and I want to eliminate that as much as possible. I want to work to smooth the edges so that it's a smooth transition between my face and the wax. You want to build it up so that it's dimensional but not too tall. And use the coconut oil judiciously. You want to avoid it sticking to your hands, but you don't want to make the whole thing oily because we're going to put pigment on top of it. You could put your gash anywhere on your face. I recommend the forehead because it's easiest. Because you could press into your forehead, and your forehead moves less as you move your face compared to an area around your lips or your cheeks. It takes practice. It takes having a napkin on hand nearby as the wax gets stuck to your fingers, as the coconut oil gets stuck to your fingers. Yeah, but see how that looks much smoother than that initial harsh transition? This is going to be good. I have a good feeling about this. The next step here is to seal it, to create the shape of the scar, then seal it with liquid latex, then put the cream color on top of it. Again, there's glitter from the last makeup. These are my methods. You could watch another tutorial that says you have to do it a completely other way. This is one way to do it. There's definitely multiple ways to make it look like there's a gash on your face. And multiple order of operations possible. I've got the scar wax where I want it. Now I'm going to take my knife. I used the knife to dig into the scar wax and wipe that off the edge. Then I'm going to, it's messy. Consider the clothes you're going to wear. I'm wearing a white undershirt that I don't mind if I get wax or makeup or blood, fake blood onto. Don't mind if I get real blood on it either. So I'm putting a little bit of coconut oil onto the knife so that the knife won't stick to the scar wax. Then I'm going to use the knife to make my gash. So I'm pressing the knife into the center of the wax that I built up. I'm going to press in to taper the edge. I piled the research up, but if you look closely at your research, depending on how the gash was formed, probably it's thin at the edges and then thicker at the middle. So I'm using the knife Not even the serrated part of the knife, but the outside part of the knife to create that, to spread the two sides of it apart. Oh yeah, to make a nice deep looking gash. I'm pressing it back in because if it's too raised up, it'll look like you stuck a gash on top of your face. But I want it to look like the gash is going in as if my forehead was split open and these are the two parts of skin. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to coat the whole deal with liquid latex. I'm happy with the shape of it, and liquid latex is going to seal it in place and help to smooth out that layer of distinction between scar wax and skin. The liquid latex that came with the Krylon kit, I don't know where it is, but it's a little vial of liquid latex. The liquid latex that comes with the Ben Nye kit comes like this. This is what I'm going to use. So mixing the kits. It comes with an applicator, like a brush. And I'm going to paint a thin layer. Every time you work with liquid latex, you don't want it to get too thick because it won't dry evenly. So I'm painting this to smooth the transition between my face and the beginning of the scar wax. And I'm also painting a thin layer over the whole thing. You saw how malleable that scar wax was. I don't really want it to continue to be malleable as I go on stage. I want it to stay where I have decided it should be. So this liquid latex should help it stay in place. Again, with your skin tone, if the liquid latex is way lighter than your skin, that's okay because you could paint your base color on top of it. And we're going to paint highlight and shadow on top of this, and we're going to pour blood on top of it. So don't panic if it looks much lighter than your skin tone. Mine even looks lighter than my skin tone. It will dry a little bit clearer than it goes on, but not entirely. Cool. Liquid latex takes a couple minutes to dry, so as that's drying, I'm going to put base on the rest of my face. Did I pull a base out? I guess I'm mixing things again. I'm going to use the base that came with the Krylon Super Color Kit. I'm going to use one of these that's close to my natural skin tone. Like this one. So, especially on the nose, where we're going to model a broken nose, it's important to have a smooth, even layer of base color. And on the eyes, to have something to blend the black eye color into. We'll wait till the latex is dry to put the base over that. Putting base color over the lips will add to the sickly look. Having like youthful pink lips makes you look youthful and healthy, but having pallid, pale lips makes you look sicker, more injured. All right, the liquid latex still drying. I'm gonna do the broken nose next. All you need to make it look like you have a broken nose is highlight and shadow. So if you have the Ben Nye highlight and shadow, or a darker brown, maybe this one, and then a lighter color from this kit. So using 1/2" brush, this is the brush that came with the Krylon kit, but any kind of 1/2" acrylic paintbrush will work. I'm going to start with the shadow. Use the medium brown. Instead of tracing the actual sides of the nose where they are, I'm going to draw a diagonal line from the tear duct over the bridge of the nose and then down. Then I'm going to draw another diagonal line across the tip of the nose. Do you see it starting already? I'm going to continue that shadow down from the edge where I drew it, blending into the base where the nose connects to the face. Across the tip of the nose. You see it already? It looks pretty stripy. I'm going to go back with the wider acrylic paintbrush that's easier for blending, and I'm going to gently blend the edges of that shadow into the base. Not completely obstructing the diagonal line, but gently smoothing it slightly. Then I'm going to add highlight with the 1/2 inch brush in the center of that diagonal. And I'm going to gently blur the edges of that highlight to the base before the shadow. And from far away, from stage, it looks like I got punched in the nose. Isn't that crazy? Isn't makeup magic? Maybe I need to go back, add a little bit more shadow. Alright, that's how you model a broken nose. How's liquid latex doing? Give it another second to dry before I put base over it. Or another couple minutes. Let's talk about black eyes. So, to create a black eye, I don't know how I would do it with the Krylon kit. Might not be possible. Okay, so if you have the Krylon kit, skip the black eye. You could do other stuff. But if you have the Ben Nye kit, you've got this bruise wheel. It's got yellow, red, what looks like black but is really misty violet. Look at my broken nose. And brown. I'm going to start with the lightest color, yellow. And I'm going to paint the outside edges. I'm going to make it look like, what's my plan? That this eye is completely a black eye and this eye is maybe beginning to heal. So I'm going to paint yellow over the eyelid. And I don't want the edges to be smooth. It won't be an exact circle. It'll be an irregular shape. This one I want it to be a bit more further reaching. The field of color will be more. Pressing the yellow in. Then I'm going to go with the red. And put the red on the inside on top of the yellow. So the edges of the black eye where it's starting to heal are just yellowish. And the inside is reddish. Still pressing in, moving the edges of the brush around, pressing the flat side in. Maybe some of the edges are red. Looking painful. Then with the purple, I'm going to put this on this eye, the one that's starting to heal, just in that indentation. I'm going to go back with the red and blur that out some more. But maybe this part of the eye is healing and this part is still a pretty deep bruise. Here, I'm going to put purple over top of the red. Yeah. Putting it over the tear duct, over the lid, leaving some of the edges to be reddish and yellowish. Moving the paintbrush around so it's not a square edge and it's not a completely rounded edge. So I've got a mix of purple and yellow and red. I'm going to go back and add more red, particularly here where the edges were kind of purple. So you're not really smoothly blending them all together. You're leaving some parts of it red, leaving some parts of it purple, leaving some parts of it yellow, like an impressionist painting. And if they blur together in some parts, that's okay too. I might add more yellow on the top of the eyelid there. And I'm going to go back to the research. Dig out that black eye research. Yeah, so this one has big fields of yellow, small patches of purple. At different stages of healing too. Maybe some yellow is not apparent yet, but it's just red and purple, or just red, or just yellow. Looking pretty close and disgusting. All right, the liquid latex feels dry enough. So I'm going to gently, with the sponge, paint base on top. I say gently because I don't want to smush it down, but I do want it to look like the color that I've made the rest of my face. It still looks really, really shiny where I've put the liquid latex. So I'm going to dust some translucent powder to take the shine of the latex off. And then go back in with more of the base color. Translucent powder. Gently pressing. Then I'm going to use the wider acrylic paintbrush to paint the base on, because I feel that I'll have more control painting. Yeah. Without smushing the scar wax. Cool. All right, we've got a broken nose. We've got a black eye. Let's keep on going with the next steps of the gash. To make the gash look even deeper, I'm going to paint the inside of it black. The actual black. Carefully, the inside. Yeah, it looks deeper already. I'm going to paint a little bit of highlight on the top edges to emphasize that distinction between the deep, deep black gash and the skin that's peeling apart on top of it. I'm pretty happy with that gash. In my schematic, I added yellow as if bruising was already starting to occur on the area. But looking back again at the gash research, it doesn't have that, so I'm gonna leave it out. So that's the gash for now. We've got the gash, we've got the broken nose, we've got the black eyes. I'm gonna add something else to the eyes that helps to make your eyes look really sick, and I'm gonna need a pencil sharpener to do it. So I'm going to pause here. This will be part 2 of Blood and Guts, and part 3 will be with a nice sharp pencil.